What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now today I want to go ahead, hit up some Battlefield 2042, and specifically play Hazard Zone. Yes, I know. I don't know why I wanted to go ahead and revisit this game, but I wanted to go ahead and put a video together to kind of describe why Hazard Zone completely flopped. Because it's not just because of the lack of support from the developers, because we all know that, you know. They already came out and said that they're not going to go ahead and support Hazard Zone anymore. It's going to be completely cut off from production, and all of their focus is going into multiplayer. We already know all this stuff. We already know that the story mode that was supposed to be connected to Hazard Zone completely flopped. But there's more reasons than just that for the reason that this game mode specifically failed. Now, it has been a long time since I went ahead and played Hazard Zone, so in order to make this video, I wanted to go ahead, jog my memory just a little bit, and play as much as I could of this game mode so I can get a better understanding of why it completely failed. So, on my live stream, if you guys want to check that out, the link to that is down in the description. We went ahead, we did half of the stream going ahead, grinding out challenges, and then the second half, for 2 hours, we went ahead and strictly played Hazard Zone. Now, the experience was really rough in the very beginning. It took an hour just to find our first match. Yes, an hour. I forget the exact number of players that they need in a lobby. I think it's like 16 or 18, but we could never get that number. Every time we got close to 16, either 1 or 2 people will leave, and we had to go through the same exact process. And then when we're finally loading into the game, it completely kicks us all out. We have to re-find another lobby and repeat that same process. We couldn't find anybody. And when we finally do find lobbies, it's dead. Like I said, it cannot get any further than the max player count for this game mode to start. Oh my goodness, it just blows my mind how DICE always does this with all of their side modes. Firestorm, here we are with freaking Hazard Zone. Every single time these game modes just completely flop. But after a full hour of not being able to get into games, the second hour treated us just a little bit better. We were able to consistently find lobbies very quickly. Even though they weren't completely filled, like I said, we're playing pretty much nearly empty lobbies, we were still able to get something started. And I gotta say, out of the experiences that me and the homies had, it was pretty darn fun. Again, this extraction mode had so much potential. Just like with Firestorm, it had so much potential, but because DICE and EA did not get the initial boost of players that, you know, they want, like Warzone, for example, or Apex Legends, where it just blew up overnight, since they didn't get that, and they have to work towards something that's going to be decent, they don't want to go ahead and do it. But with all honesty, the maps in this game mode are actually pretty fun. It seems like this was going to be their initial Battle Royale, or this was going to be the mode that they're going to really push hard to make sure that the Battlefield franchise truly turned into Hazard Zone, especially since they're going to follow up with the storyline on it. But it works. They're large, they're open, it looks like, you know, random locations, because the whole purpose of Hazard Zone, our satellites are crashing down from the sky in the most random of locations, and you have to go retrieve the data drives from them. So it makes logical sense that you're not going to be in some war-torn area, because, you know, the satellites can literally drop anywhere around the globe, and that's what we're going ahead to hunt. But of course, since they stopped supporting Hazard Zone and all they focus on is the multiplayer experience, the maps don't make any logical sense, because they weren't designed around Conquest, they weren't designed around Breakthrough, they weren't designed around any original Battlefield game mode, because Battlefield 2042 was only going to be a Battle Royale. I try to repeat it all the time because people like to pretend like they don't see the actual facts, but the base game of Battlefield 2042 was a Battle Royale. Nothing more, nothing less. They scrapped the whole idea, brought in Hazard Zone, and tacked on the multiplayer experience, which should have been their main focus. That should have been the multiplayer experience, but they tacked it on as a secondary mode, which is why we're going through the problems that we are today. But the point here is that the maps work for Hazard Zone. It was made for this. And getting into the gameplay loop, it's decent. You know, it's exactly what you wanted out of an extraction game mode, but it's the very bare form. It's the lowest of the low foundation that they could possibly have for it. They did not add on any new elements or any new styles that would change this game mode or improve it in any way, shape, or form, or even just not even having to change it or improving, just making an extraction game mode how it should be. The only incentive of this mode is obviously to get the data drives, but there's nothing behind the data drives besides currency, basically, to get more perks to go into the Hazard Zone. You can unlock things like, you know, extra ammo, or get more of a, you know, better payout with how many data drives you have at the end of the games, you know, a free revive for teammates. There's a lot of different things that you can go ahead and buy before you actually go into a match, you know, different weapons and stuff like that. Whatever that you want, you can use the data drive currency for, but you would think that's some backstory behind the game. You would think there will be actual value to these data drives, but there isn't. The whole backstory is that it's just, you know, huge national secrets on these data drives that can completely crumble countries. And we're sitting here selling them to get an extra grenade? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. For me personally, I think they don't have any value because there's nothing else in the game to loot. That's the only incentive you have to go into the hazard zone. You collect the data drives or you kill people, but the only reason you would kill people is to get data drives. It's no challenges or anything for that sort. There's no, side quests that you have to do while going in to, have an incentive to actually want to go in, and there's nothing else to loot. If I kill a person, I'm not going to be able to loot, different armor, different gear, take certain attachments, and there's no tier quality to the weapons either. You either buy your custom loadout weapon, which once you have that custom loadout weapon, you can deck it out with anything that you have in the plus system already, or you buy the base version of the weapon with no attachments. There's no in-betweens. There's no value to anything on that weapon, not even the ammunition in this game. So when you go to kill someone, you're not killing them because you need resources, It's not like, oh my god, I'm about to run out of ammo, maybe I should take him out and get some more ammo or something of that sort, because why would you need that, right? You have Angel. Angel does it frickin' again. And another reason, you could tell that all these specialists were made for BRs and extraction modes, not for multiplayer, because they work perfectly in this mode, right? They're just designed specifically for this mode. But as I was saying, there's nothing to do in the hazard zone. There's nothing really other to do besides chase these data chips. It drives you crazy after some time. All of the fear and just the intense gunfights that an extraction mode has to offer is completely just ruined in this game because I'm not scared. Why should I care about dying when it's so simple just to completely buy a decked out gun again? I mean, it's so easy to stack up cash in this game that I never worry about anything. And who cares about the perks? They barely even phase you when it comes to the gameplay aspect. The only thing that matters is being able to get your gadget and also your weapon. And more than half the specialists serve a better purpose than your gadget. Why should I carry an ammo box? Why should I carry a med box when I can use Falk or Angel, who have unlimited meds? I mean, Falk has a pistol that can just literally rapid fire at your teammates and heal them all up in an instant. You don't even have to be standing on the med box to heal up. And Angel can literally drop an ammo crate whenever he pleases. And in the heat of the moment, if he doesn't have time to drop an ammo crate, he can literally go around and throw mini pouches to all of his team. I personally think they should have added so much more loot into the game, and if you want to deck out your weapon, you would have to go ahead and actually pick how much ammo you want to buy, how many attachments you need, what type of attachments. Each one should vary in different prices. There should be a live ecosystem going on within the Battlefield 2042 realm. They are a AAA studio. This shouldn't be impossible to do. It's very simplistic for a team that massive to be able to make an ecosystem where all of us can just go ahead and find stuff in Raid, go back, trade it, sell it, come up with our own prices, and form our own world around hazard zone. And then if they were able to do that, I guarantee that the data chips would have so much more value within the world, and they would have actually been able to tell a story with them. There would have been an incentive to actually keep grinding this game mode and add more value with the backstory that they already originally planned with these data chips if they were more rare. Imagine going into the hazard zone and you're just finding your regular loot. You don't have to go ahead and find these chips and that's the only thing. You can go in and find different weapons, find some free attachments for your gun, you can find resources, food, water, ammunition, anything valuable that might actually earn you some cash. You could just go in for a quick buck, and then out of nowhere, all of these satellites start crashing down on Earth, and that is a high value target. Those are going to be the hot zones. It's going to add intensity into the game, and also allowing people to pick their own attachments for their weapons and making them more expensive and more valuable. It will add a bit of fear to the people who are actually playing this game, because they know if they die, that's a lot of money on the line. You don't feel that in Hazard Zone. Like I said, you buy your weapon, your customized weapon for like 200, 400, whatever it is, and you have everything across the board. You have 3 different mags, 3 different sights, 3 different grips. You can literally deck that thing out for days. And when you go ahead and see another person's gun on the ground, why would you pick that up? Unless you're a very new player and you need something different, then yeah, go ahead. But at a certain point, you're going to have literally everything. There's no value to anything that you pick up off of any players. And there's no reason to communicate or even try to work with random players in this game, which would have been an awesome feature. Imagine if there's side quests and things that you have to find and valuables, and if this game had proximity chat and you can engage with other players without having to fight. There's no other reason to not fight within Hazard Zone right now, because like I said, you're just fighting for the gold chips. So, just kill them and take their gold chips, and then you extract, right? But if you have other incentives going into the zone, let's say you trying to complete a quest and someone else that you ran across is trying to do the same thing, you can actually team up with this random individual in this world. You don't even have to fight. There's no incentive to fight, and you guys can do it together. Those moments make extraction game modes 10 times better. And none of that is present within Battlefield 2042. Again, they did the bare minimum for this mode and expected it to blow up and then ditched it. That's why I'm so sick of EA. That is why I'm so sick of them. Because all they want to do is make a quick buck. That's all they want. They want that Apex Legends and Warzone vibe where they just put it out and it instantly makes them millions. And then, yeah, it's like, oh, it's making millions now, so let's go ahead and put non-stop support behind it. But when it actually requires work to build up a mode to make it something valuable, they don't want to put forth that effort. This is the second game mode that they have completely ditched because of their incompetence, and it's really ticking me off. Trust me, I want the core Battlefield experience to be better than anything else in this world, but I definitely see potential here. This was 110% a good direction for this game to take, and they screwed it all up. The whole backstory, the spine of this game was lying right on this game mode. And it's so obvious, all you have to do is play it. Off of one play session, I was able to come up with all of this knowledge. Everybody else was able to come up with it too. It's not hard. You're telling, I can't believe that they were able to play this and then they didn't notice anything was wrong at all. Unless they already knew that they just needed to cram in a game mode to make it a complete $60 product. That's the only thing I could think of. EA was forcing them to do it. DICE didn't have enough time because it started off as a BR and they had to completely re-scrap the whole game. So maybe, just maybe, they just chucked it in. They didn't have anything else to do. And we can't blame them if that's the case. If it's management and EA rushing this product out, they can't do anything. And also, it's up to EA to cut the mode as well. So even if DICE wanted to go ahead and do extra work, now they're far behind on the multiplayer experience. They're far behind on Hazard Zone. They're far behind on their next introduction because of all of the implementations they put into this game that the community hates. They're already so far behind. So EA just says, chop, chop, get it all out of here. Don't even bother. Just focus on one thing at a time. It hurts, man. It hurts to see this direction, but yeah, that's why Hazard Zone failed. A game mode with all the potential in the world, something that could have been so cool, so fun, honestly, probably my most played thing in the world, but it flopped so hard. Please, Infinity Ward, I really don't have faith when it comes to your multiplayer right now, but DMZ, I'm begging you. You know what you're doing. They've already said it's been in production for 3+ years. This is not a side game mode. This is something that they put a lot of time and passion into. If it's anywhere close to Hazard Zone, my God, a rant is incoming. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bonus and hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new into the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's 2 ways to do so. Have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.